I want to have freedom.
Being a person with that much experience and that much talent, how has your daily life been looking like?
In order to reach to this point, maturity is in terms of quality of your thinking. You cannot do something big with a small mindset.
We're back with another episode, and here we have Bepi, an artist, a singer, a songwriter, and an MC and a host, and also an influencer. And please, could you tell more about yourself?
My name is Alberto Piedari. So basically, that's the formal name that I normally use when I MC. But since 2019, I've already introduced a new stage name. It's called Bepi. Bepi is basically Betu Piedari. My nickname at home. Everybody knows me as Betu since my childhood. And then I thought like, oh, I should combine Be and P together, so it becomes Bepi. Yeah. And so something about me. I've completed my master's in human resource management to a scholarship, Australian scholarship, and then undergraduate in psychology, behavioral studies. I've worked for the government for almost 11 years, especially in the area of human resource management. And then I've also a trainer. So I've completed my certificate 4 in training and assessment from Swinburne Uni. So basically, after resigning from Ministry of Finance 2019, I've been training, I've been providing like facilitate retreats, and also a lot of talking to the youth. So that's what I've been doing. But yeah, basically, I'm an artist. I'm a singer. I'm a host, MC, and more things.
And that's very impressive. I think I've never seen anybody with that much, what have you say, had that much talent, that much experience in his life. And being a person with that much experience and that much talent, how has your daily life been looking like?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
um, I think what has been lately since 2019 is it's quite hectic, especially if I have not been able to organize my schedule or my agenda properly daily. For instance, like in a day, I probably have several things to do. For instance, emceeing, and then I have another thing. It was quite challenging, but now I'm sort of like liking the lifestyle, and I changed my mindset according to what I want, because this is what I've been dream. I've dreamt since forever, and now that it has become reality, I'm living the life now. Yeah.
And could you tell me, like you said in 2019,
Yeah.
like the rough times, could you tell me more about it? Because I'm still a young individual,
Yeah.
and I'm very inspired by how you say that you're living the life now. And as much as I want to be like you right now, is like what it is that you had to go through with these challenges that you face.
Well, I have also always dreamed to not work,
To not work, yeah.
to not work in the office.
Yes.
I dream about waking up and then having money in my bank account.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, everybody wants to dream something.
I've always wanted that, but then I thought like, how can I do it? I well, 2019 we have a big event in the Ministry of Finance. Well, I emceed before for different events with Don Bosco, with the church and community. But and then 2019 was the first time that not 2019, sorry, 2017.
Oh, 17.
Was the first time that I was asked to MC in English for a G7 Plus event at TCD. And then I realized that, I liked it. I liked it, and I got really comfortable. But and then not only that, a lot of ministers, a lot of officials, government officials were there. And then another events that they had, they started inviting me. So I took leave from Ministry of Finance. I went to MC, and then I got paid. And I liked it. I was like, oh, this is good. In one day I can make this much money. If I take 2 emceeing in a day, I make this much money. If in a week, and then I calculated and I thought like, if it's in a week, I can make that much money. I don't have to work.
All right, right.
And then 2019, I had this. I wrote 2017. I wrote in my vision board that this is what I want. I want a lifestyle of an artist. I want to live. I want to wake up whenever I want. I want to go whenever I want when people go to the office. I want to have money in my bank account. I want all this. 2019, I took the risk resigning.
So when taking the risk, like it's hard
Yeah.
for taking risk.
Sure.
But at the same time, like with great risk comes great
Great
reward,
responsibility. Yeah.
great rewards. Um, in that journey, like how are you able to mentally prepare yourself when you start hosting? Because for me, it's like I get really nervous sometimes.
Yeah.
Like first time hosting, first time doing everything, I always get nervous. But learning from you, listening from what you say, it gets really interesting how you just do it and you're like, oh, I see you've been posting a lot of events. And I'm like, how does this guy do it?
Yeah.
How is he able to talk with like sometimes thousands of people, sometimes small groups of people, but he's still confident enough to say the things he can say.
I think it's all in the mental. You need to have like a really good mental preparedness. Before the actual event takes place, you need to make sure that you already do it in your mind. Like how can you really, talk to this many people. So I do a lot of imagining in front of the mirror, like talking. For
You talk
instance,
in
like
front of a mirror.
yeah, I do like ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. So I do that over and over until like I get used to my own voice. Like the first time when I record my own voice, I thought I felt weird. Like I feel like
sounds like
I like but then I thought like, nah, man, I this is what I want. Basically, what you need to convince yourself is that do you really want this or not? If you do not want to do certain things and you force yourself to do it, it's not going to be really good. The quality is probably like so. But if you really really want to do something, you put your mind into it. But then you have to really change your mindset. You cannot do something big with a small mindset. So if you want to be big, your mindset also has to change, and you need to train yourself to think big.
And does confidence go along with that too?
Yes, of course. To be honest with you, I was an introverted person. Yeah,
Someone like you, an introvert
yeah.
person.
But then I learned. I
Right.
learned to change slowly because where I grew up in seminary. So
Seminary.
your friend Marcel is my nephew.
Yes, yes.
Like Marcel's dad and my other brother, we also went to boarding school.
Oh, which boarding school?
Fatumaka and Benilale. It's a legend school.
Okay.
We were supposed to be priests back then, but
Priest.
then I changed. We changed our mind. We changed our pathways. But I learned that if you want to really achieve something in life, being shy is not the right, not the way.
Not the way.
You need to have some confidence, regardless of whether you're and not only shy. You need to also have to be able to speak, not only speak but communicate.
Right, right.
Yeah. So I learned that if I'm an introverted person, I need to be able to change. So in order to change, I have to be able to have this courage. I learned to have the courage to go and speak to people, open up, and learn from mistakes. And to be honest with you, the place for me to learn how to open up is in the toilet.
Toilet.
You sit in the like toilet. You think about I don't know. For instance, like emceeing, I practice in the toilet. For speaking English, I practice in the toilet. Can you imagine before in 2003? I don't know if you were born yet that time.
I was still in the. I was still in the mother.
2003, I went to Australia with very limited English.
Right.
And then I saw how like high school students, they went to order at the McDonald's. I learned how to order like medium McPounder or whatever, those things. And I went home and I repeated when I was in the toilet.
Oh, you just
So I
repeated what
repeat the
you said.
accents. I repeat how they ordered. And the next day I went to McDonald's and ordered the same thing. And until like a week, I felt sick because of McDonald's. And then I realized that that's how I learned. I learned English.
So you learned
So
by that.
so it's not only the courage, but learning from other people and learning from your mistakes, but also make sure you have to take actions.
Right.
If you're only dreaming, I think it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true because like what I've seen from a lot of people, like they all want to be successful. They all want to reach the place that you've reached, living the life, being able to do anything that you want to do. But one thing that they couldn't possibly achieve is the process of the success,
Yeah.
how they get there. And was there something that motivated you when you sat down like, by yourself and you're just like, I got to do this because I need to do it. Like, what's the motive for you to reach
I want
this
to have
place?
freedom.
Freedom.
I want to be free. I don't want to be tied to, like something that I think I can do it easily, but then I was too scared to jump. I realized that For instance, like young people, when your mind is so creative, it's so hard for you to fall asleep in the evening. That's why we tend to sleep at 3, 4,
Yes, yes.
because we cannot shut the mind.
Right.
You need to make sure that you listen to your mind, what your mind wants to do. This creative mind, and probably you maybe you're listening to me to this podcast. Sometimes you need to write down what you think so that you make sure that your mind rested, have a really good rest evening, so tomorrow it can function well to make
Yeah.
sure that you reach your goals.
I do that.
Yeah,
I do that most times when
write it down.
yeah, when
Just
I'm having like so much in my thought, I like I don't know what to think right now. I'll get my notebook, I'll just write everything down, or I'll just have I have this I'd say like a diary sometimes,
exactly.
and it's
Yeah.
like I would write everything that I'm thinking about, feeling, and just every emotion on that book or on that notebook, and then I just leave it and I'll do it the next
Yeah,
day.
and leave it.
Yeah.
But make sure you have a vision board. For
Mhm.
instance, in my bedroom, because now I moved to an apartment,
Mhm.
but in my previous house, my room, I've had these three three big visions in the for the future. I've written on top of the ceiling, so every time before I fall asleep, I look at them.
Oh,
Yeah. So
wow.
the last thing that I see is my three big dreams, and
Wow.
the first thing that I see in the morning is my three big dreams, and
Wow.
I'm still sticking to this
Still sticking to
seriously.
it. Oh,
And
wow.
I've taken it down since I moved to my apartment,
Mhm.
and even my mom and my late dad,
Mhm.
they went inside my room. They'll be like, "Why do you have so many things around your walls?" Because I can tell you, every year I do not have many dreams. I only have three big dreams since I was um I was probably 26.
Mhm.
I was 26. I had these wishes,
Mhm.
and now so these wishes have come true, and now I'm creating new ones. But
Mm.
to just to make sure that these three big goals in life, because once you have these three big goals, each goals will have its own priorities.
Prioritism.
So each year I'm doing these priorities to make sure that by I want to retire early. I can say that I'm just turning 40 now.
Mm.
I don't look 40, but and I've already lived the life that I always dreamed to live when I'm 50.
Mhm.
So I'm actually 10 years earlier
10 years
earlier,
earlier.
and I can tell you that I've resigned from, like, how do you call it, like mediocre lifestyle, and I'm living the lifestyle that I want, because if I want to go, I go.
Mhm.
If I want to go on holidays, I just need to book ticket and go. But in order to reach to this point, a lot of struggle and a lot of sacrifice, a lot of rejection.
Mhm.
You need to be able to really maintain, your focus on your goals, and sometimes when there is big, you'll doubt yourself as you go.
Yeah, that's true.
So just be careful.
Yeah, and so when you said, you have a lot of struggles, a lot of success, would you say that these struggles, these
Mhm.
failures that you've faced, has it did it build you? Because once somebody struggles or once somebody sees
Yeah.
a failure, they would run away or
Uh, uh,
give up.
well,
How do you face
from
it?
now and then, some of these challenges that you face, oh, well, you probably, some of them will make you fall, and you probably think like, oh, I make wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to me, but then I realized that having it written down really helps.
Really help.
Yeah, just don't think about it. You have to write it down.
Okay.
Write it down. Make sure you see it in the toilet, in your bathroom, or whatever. That reminds you every time that whatever I'm doing now is for those three big things. Like I'm
Mm.
telling you, by the time when I reach to these goals, that's when I know that I'm well off.
You're
Like,
welcome.
that's it. This is it.
And I want to talk to you about your music career.
Yeah.
Like for me, I don't I don't have any music stuff, but for someone like Bepi, if your music and
Mhm.
hosting style has a personality, how would you describe it?
Well, to be honest with you, this has been a challenge for me, because as a musician, I have a different personality. As an
Oh.
MC, I have different personality. I MC more to, like, for formal events.
Mm-hmm.
So for formal events, I'm not Bepi. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm Alberto Pierari.
Alberto.
So I switch my voice. For instance, this is my artist's voice, like
Mm-hmm.
Bepi's voice. But when I'm Alberto Pierari, becomes I'm Alberto Pierari. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's just a
It's a
different.
different personality. So
Uh-huh.
that's what happened. But with music, I tend to become more emotional,
Emotional.
become more I like mystery. mystery, and I like lessons in the songs that I am writing. It's not only about love, but I want to make sure that people listen to the song, understand that there's always lesson and messages to change your life to be better. So different, two different personalities. That's why one event. I cannot mention what event was that,
Of course,
and I was asked to MC and sing at the same time. I was having difficulty because I have to switch
you have to switch the
switch
personality.
personality, switch costume. So one I have to wear like earrings and all this,
Oh,
that and jacket, but then the other one I have to wear a suit. It's quite tiring, and so I'm asking them, if you want me to MC or sing, you need to decide. Because if I sing, this is the price. If I MC, this is the price. But if you if you want me to do two, my price is going to be very expensive.
Yeah,
And
true.
like, to be honest with you, I don't normally sing in many of the occasions like events, because I restrict myself to just sing. I want to make sure that my song, I have the style of, I like big bands like orchestra. I like choir. I like a lot of voices. So and I want my song and my music maybe not to release now, because I'm following my instincts. If I rush and then it becomes premature, it becomes not, it's not cooked. And music is a passion. You cannot just do it because a lot of people do it. I don't like that. I want my music to have meanings. I want my music to have impact, and I want my music to really move people in a positive way. I know it's not the time yet, because the market and the audience, my target audience is, I have to tell you that when I release Shadow, it's for my dad. A lot of people, especially in the government level, some of the advisors, they texted me like, I listened to this song before asking you what is it about, but I cried. I said, why? Because I felt like you were telling a sad story about someone that is passed away. And I told them, oh, it's about my dad.
Oh, they
So
just listen to the
this
music.
is if a lot of people can say that to me, that means I reach, I can reach a lot of people's heart, and they can understand what I'm trying to tell with my music. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's to me, I've listened to many music, and it's like music is a passion.
Yeah.
Music is something that connects with our hearts, connects with our emotions
Yeah.
deeply. And since you said you were retiring at the age of 50, what is say, the biggest, um, what's the plan for you? How are you going to retire when you're 50?
Um, well, I really want to make sure that I have enough money in the bank, and I have an investments that can make some returns in terms of like financially independent. Not caring about, like, I still want to work, but not like intense 9 to 5, or not that. But the work that when I go to bed, I'll be like, damn, I've done like great things today. Something like that. So for me, um, retiring meanings I have already accomplished, or having my own foundations, because my dad passed away with cancer. I want to have a cancer foundation to help a lot of people that cannot afford chemotherapy, and helping those that have eyes. My mom's had some problem with her eyes, so I want to make sure that people, especially the elderly that have difficulty access to that, and probably bring some really good doctors to for checkups, and one center for youth. This is a free consultation and counseling for young people, looking at the what happened right now in Timor-Leste. A lot of people are facing difficulty handling or dealing with their emotions, and some take like a really
It's a very big. It's
shortcut.
rising. It's rising, as you can see nowadays.
True, and it is sad, and that center, I want to become a center that young people can explore, their talent. So there'll be, I don't know. This is finger crossed. I don't know when it's gonna happen. So, but I truly believe that everything that I've written down, most of them have become reality. So these are some big dreams that I have, and one big dreams that I also want to have is I want to be an international artist.
International.
Not only in Timor Leste, but I want to explore. I know it's not going to be easy. I've also learned from other like artists that they've been in the industry, and they have to have a label signed with some recording companies and all that, and also the challenge of having money because you need to have money. You
That's
cannot
true.
be just an international artist with no money, and then you have to have also take. You need to also sometimes you have to break some rules.
Yeah.
You probably have these principles and all that, but if you want to break through, do a breakthrough. But then I mean not breaking the principles, but make sure that you know what you want, but not to the point where you deny the origins of your beliefs and
It's true.
principles.
Sometimes, there's a quote saying that sometimes dreams are
Exactly,
meant to be
exactly.
broken.
And
When you told me about these cancer,
yeah.
the chemotherapy and all of that, I'm really inspired, honestly, because I've seen many people around Timor-Leste basically, and they have not that they have never had the idea, but for you to talk about that, it's just I feel like it could happen. I
Amen.
believe in it, and I think it's gonna happen. And
Until it happens, and then we can
until
play this
until
podcast
yeah, we
again.
can do this podcast. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how your life has been like, sort of like a lot of challenges you face, a lot of how do you say it? A lot of good things have come to your way, and there's a lot of people that
Thank you.
inspired by your work, the way you do things. What's the one message you could tell the younger generation, like me myself?
Mm.
Like what message do you want to tell them?
Um, you need to be able to make sacrifices.
Sacrifices.
If you are too scared
Hmm.
to jump and sacrifice some of the things that you perhaps, like, I have to be honest with you, sometimes you have to cut some people out of your life. Yeah,
Cut some
sometimes
people
like some friends that probably are negative and not, for instance, you're like, oh, I want to be a famous podcaster, I want to be famous host, and they'll be like, ah, nah, I don't think so, you do this, you do that. They are becoming like a really big stone that is tied to your neck or your foot. And if you want to move forward, but you still consider like what they say too much, and then it holds you back.
Oh, right.
So you need to think that, are they worth keeping? Is it worth keeping these friends around?
True.
Um, but it's up to you if you want to keep them around, and then yeah.
It's like, how do you say? It's I wouldn't say it's easy to cut people off,
Mm.
but it's like we humans, we have heart.
Exactly. Well, meaning cutting is not like you don't want to be friends with them.
Right.
No, limit your time talking to them.
Oh,
Maybe not sharing your dreams with them anymore. Perhaps when they say like, "Oh, let's go out," this, you're like, "Ah, I'm too tired." You can cut them, not literally like, "Oh, I don't want to be friends with you anymore." No, it's not like that. And not also cutting, but also changing your lifestyle. For instance, if you want to be a really big podcaster, you need to also think, how does podcaster dress? How do they talk? How do they sit? How do they do this? Me, when I was in Ministry of Finance, I dressed like an advisor because I was an advisor. I dressed like all this long collar, like that with suits and short hair, but that no tattoos and all that. But then I thought like, I want to be an artist, man. I want to have my own music. I want to have my lifestyle in this. So I resigned and I started having tattoos. I wear, like, I have earrings. I had earrings. I dyed my hair. I let it long. I let it curly. So I changed my style until I got to a point where I'm comfortable. Like, this is me. This is what I want to live. I want to be. But then I also consider how I do not upset my mom and dad. Those are the most important people in life. That
important.
because I don't know if people will believe this or not, but having your mom and dad's approval, not approval only, but blessings.
Oh, yes.
Their blessings can do a lot of wonders.
Because it encourages you to push more.
Exactly. In psychology, your what is it? Your
Talk
inner heart.
I want to know about the
Psychology.
psychology.
Sure.
Because
Now we can
studied
talk.
psychology.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, because based on business or based on
Yeah.
anything, psychology is important.
Of course,
And
psychology is in everything,
yeah,
man.
psychology and everything.
Yeah.
And I want you to talk more about psychology,
Mm.
because I myself am interested in psychology, but interested based on how I'm able to bring people to talk with them,
Sure.
how I'm able to um, attract them in a way, because psychology is based on, like what I know is the visual, the way you talk, the way you present yourself.
Yeah.
And please tell me more about this stage of, because you study psychology.
Exactly, exactly. In order to make sure that you are a strong personality, you have a strong, not a strong personality, but you are when you walk when you walk in a room, you change the vibe.
How do you do that?
Oh well, these are the tips. Number one, you need to make sure that you do what you say you're gonna do.
Okay.
Okay, that means you need to have integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you need to learn how to really stand properly.
Oh, so like
Yeah.
if you stand in a different.
Yeah, if you're limping like that and you keep doing this in front of every people. Number three, you need to know how to dress
Mm.
and know when to dress like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, it's all about you do what you said you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Because people always think, nah, this guy's a liar.
Yeah.
Don't believe him.
Right.
So that means your credibility, go down. Number
Mhm.
two, know how to stand.
Mm.
For instance, I notice some of your friends when they talk to people like older than them, their hands are like this, they do this. But if you talk to someone who is probably like a president or prime minister and you do this, it's not only the prime minister will look at you, but people surrounding, they will observe, this guy is very childish,
Mhm.
do not know how to respect people. So that means you're not strong, you're just weak.
Mm.
Okay. Number three, you need to show some maturity in terms of your communication. Respect is number one. Respect is how do you call it? It's a quality,
Mhm.
not only intelligence,
Mhm.
but respect is number one, integrity, and number three is what's the right word for it?
How do you say it in that one?
Discipline.
Oh, discipline.
Yeah.
Okay.
So discipline is very important. When you're respecting someone, make sure that the discipline in giving people chance to speak, listening to them. But when you listen to them, it's the eyes.
Just
Exactly, right?
okay.
So when I talk to you like this, if you are talking to me and suddenly I wonder like this, you're not respecting the person talking to you. Do you
It's
get
just little
a
thing.
little thing? And then when you do that, uh, so let me repeat again. Number one,
Mm.
make sure you do what you say you're gonna do.
Right.
Okay, that's number one. That's integrity. Number two, know how to stand.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk in, don't limp.
Don't.
Walk in with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But number three is respect,
Mm-hmm.
respecting them. And number four, these values, including discipline. You need to have to have to discipline your communication style, disciplining the way you dress. For instance, you're meeting someone older than you cannot dress something,
Yes.
like that. If you want to attract, for instance, I like Tomoki because Tomoki knows how to really, talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
When he goes to like young people, he dress like cool. When he goes to like meetings, he wears like ties.
That's how I learned from him.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying,
Mm.
and people will respect you slowly, despite of your age.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you communicate with discipline, you communicate with discipline, meaning you do not swallow words. You communicate clearly. You need to train yourself. When you say something, look at people's eyes,
Mm.
and then when highlighting, make sure you look at each one. Your voice is also very important. Number five, learning how to control your tone in your voice, the tone in your voice. Because what? People will basically, believe or not, it's about you telling them the story. Okay? So once again, if in order to be a strong person or with very good, great personality, it's all about integrity. If you lie to people that you're gonna come at 5, for instance, and you come at 6, I'm sorry, but you're not a strong person. You're weak because you're not disciplined. You're disrespecting time. When you come, you rush. You forgot to brush your shoes. You forgot to brush your hair. All these things, and then people will be like, nah, this is a kid. See?
I think I have a lot of improvements to do because I feel like the way you're talking to me is like some
It's
of the
like you're
things
learning from
I'm
this too,
learning
right?
from
Yeah.
this thing because there's one quote I have and I use it
Yeah.
almost every day to put myself with like I have the confidence that that gets me. One quote that I say is walk like a king and don't give a fuck who the king is. And that's one quote I will take and I'll
Yeah.
always go with me every
Yeah.
single time.
I think we all learning.
Mm.
We only stop learning once this brain is dead.
Mm.
You know, because the brain is very powerful, man.
Mm.
Not the brain, but the mind.
The mind.
Brain is just an organ,
Mm.
but mind is the machine.
Oh.
Okay, so mind, like I'm saying all this information to you, so your mind and all this nervous
I'm
system
learning
is
everything.
is like is switching.
Mhm.
Yeah, so tonight, if you sleep early, you will do the backup. But if you sleep late, it will go away. That means you cannot store this information because the mind needs to stop. But people that have a lot of things in their mind sometimes cannot switch it off.
Mm.
So you need to be in control of the mind, not the mind controls you.
Mm.
The brain is part of your body, but the mind can have its own thing.
Oh, okay.
How crazy is that, right?
It's very
Yeah,
crazy.
this is all like crazy psychology, but
It's
yeah.
it's something that I have learned,
Mm,
and the way that the five things: integrity,
mm.
what was it? Integrity,
Standing, yeah,
standing,
standing position,
standing position,
respect,
respect, the
discipline,
discipline and voice.
tone and voice. Yeah.
I will use this from the day on every
Exactly.
time I go.
For instance, like I'm telling you this,
Mhm.
if I MC, right, before the event even start, I was like, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure your mobile phone is on silent vibration mode. This is before the,
Mm.
but when it's about to start, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure your mobile phone is now on silent or vibration mode. Thank you. That's it.
Oh,
So
damn,
that's a
crazy.
command, man.
That's a command.
Yeah.
That's a command.
But before, people like, that's an MC talking. But when I start, it's not talking anymore. I'm giving you command.
Right.
Correct, right?
There's a difference.
That's why you need to learn with the voice.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, if you are talking to someone, you're meeting, let's say you are submitting a proposal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to go that to make sure that the proposal can be achieved. When you knock on the door, when they open, don't show that you are scared,
Mm-hmm.
but don't show that you're overconfident.
Mm-hmm.
Show that you are a respectful person.
Tell me about the overconfidence
Okay,
part.
overconfident meaning, excuse me, can I come in? Yeah, that's overconfident.
Okay.
But when you knock, you open the door, you be like, good morning. This is not down like this,
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit. Good morning, how are you? And then when you shake hand with them, make sure your two hands like this, give only one hand, a little bit, not
Okay.
too much.
Okay.
But I think we need to learn all this body language
Mm-hmm.
because when you do that, make sure when you want people to buy your product, you smile.
Ah,
Yeah,
smiling is the key.
smiling is the key.
Mm-hmm.
Smiling while talking to them, and then make sure that you do not talk much.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what they want.
Mm.
Okay, tell me what are you selling? Oh, we have these products, but this is the product that we're selling you. It's about ABC.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? And
Mm-hmm.
ask their opinions first, and then once you listen to them, summarize and make sure that this product has what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then towards the end, when they talk, eyes to eyes.
Never let,
Yeah.
never let.
Never let. When they talk, if you do this again, if you do that, oh, you lose them.
It's because they see how you
Exactly.
do things.
And because they are observing you and they are assessing you,
Mm-hmm.
evaluating. Can I trust this person?
Does
Can
it
I?
also work with you in, let's say, in public speaking?
Of course, these five things that I just mentioned to you, it applies to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Applies to you presenting your thesis, applies to you presenting your products, applies to your in-job interview. Same, if you come in, for instance, your job interview is 9:30. You come at 9:35.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you're disrespecting the time,
It's on, yes.
right? And you are not doing what you are told to do. You're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to come 15 minutes earlier. Why you come late? Number two, because you rush, your standing position is really bad.
Mm.
That already tells me, nah, you lack of discipline, you're disrespectful. I don't think I can trust you. How can you get this job? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You probably, if I give this job to you, you're not going to do it well.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, I'm not buying it.
Mm-hmm.
You get the point, right?
I get the
But
point.
if you do it, if you come earlier, if you sit there and wait, and if you when they talk to you, you listen, and you know the age appropriate. Huh? If you talk to someone younger than you, how can you stand?
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to someone the same age as you, what is your body language like? When you talk to someone older than you, and your eye contact, the way you communicate, the way you listen. When you speak with someone, make sure it's 50-50 because if you are selling something to someone and you speak more than them,
Mhm.
sometimes they listen only the first things that they want to hear, and in the middle you lose them.
Mm.
You know,
So that
it
you
has to
talk too
be,
much.
when you talk too much, you lose them. You
Okay.
need to know what they want or
Mm.
what they need. Because if you try to sell a product, for instance, like, oh, I have this cosmetics and this is good for your skin, this is that. What do you look for in a makeup thing? Oh, I don't need makeup. But why? Now it's important. Ah, me, I don't wear makeups. But now makeups makes you look more fresh. So do you think you need to look fresh? Ask them. It's
Okay.
about what they need that you will sell this product to.
Mhm.
For instance, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and all that, all those products. It's very simple, man. Are you hungry? Everybody needs
so
to eat,
true.
man.
That's so true. That's so true.
It's what they need.
Mm.
For instance, me, I'm selling my image as a Bepi. I'm an
Mm.
influencer too. You see my posts, with the way I write them, I'm targeting people like big brands.
Mhm.
I'm targeting premium brands. I'm targeting that. So when I post something, I make sure that the picture looks good.
Mhm.
And it has some products to promote,
Mhm.
and I put like logos and all that. But it's short and simple. When
Mm.
you write too many things, too many details, no, it's not gonna sell.
Oh, that's
But then I present myself properly.
Mhm.
I don't do this. I used to do it in my personal profile, but
Mhm.
then in my the public figure, that it's changed. Instagram is different, Facebook page is different, Twitter is different, and all that different.
Oh, that's
Because
different.
yeah, because what happened is that you need to know what are you selling exactly. you
So
know
each social media platform
that's what I do.
is different.
Some artists have different approach.
Mhm.
But for me, I'm selling a lot of products on my Facebook,
Mhm.
because in Timor-Leste, people use a lot of TikToks and Facebook, right?
Mhm.
But in Facebook, I do a lot of promotions of brands.
Mhm.
That's why those big brands that now I'm working with them as the influencers and ambassadors. But in TikTok, sometimes I post only videos of me doing like crazy stuff. But I want to make sure that if TikTok is finally monetized, I want to make sure that I do something with podcasts,
Mhm.
with things like motivating people, talking to people.
Mhm.
With Twitter is more about me, writing my, how do you
Your
call it, like
ideas.
thoughts and ideas. But with Instagram, it's just lifestyle. I
Mm.
want people to know, oh, so this is what Baby is doing. This is what, that.
Mm.
So you have to know exactly what do you use your social media for.
Mhm.
That's why sometimes now you're portraying your social media. It's also will either bring you up or bring you down.
Mm.
Everything now is about social media exposure.
Mhm.
If you want to sell something, make sure. Well, in the philosophy of marketing,
Mhm.
sometimes you need to make sure that people get the message. For example, just do it. Nike's just do it,
Mm.
right? It's so simple.
Small, simple.
It's very simple, and just two colors, black and white.
Mhm.
Just do it. So it's with KFC, two or three colors, two colors, red
Three.
and white,
Yeah, red and white.
right?
That's the main color.
McDonald's blue, yellow, and
Yellow and red, I
red.
think. Yeah.
The lesser, sometimes the less is more. Less is
Mhm.
more, right?
Because
But
there's
more,
simplicity.
sometimes you lose people in the middle. That's why when you write too many things, sometimes you lose people in terms of like, I don't get what you're trying to say.
Same as when you're talking to too many
Exactly.
times.
Mm,
It's like you said, 50-50 is you have to let the
exactly.
person talk. You have to
Exactly.
let yourself be quiet for you to
I
talk.
mean, once you become more mature, like mature is not about age.
How
The
would you define maturity?
maturity is in terms of quality of your thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and how you communicate, and you say things in when you're communicating with people. Sometimes people, like they're in the 50s, 60s, but when they talk, they swear, and they say
Mm,
things that probably not age appropriate. They can.
makes sense.
I don't think those are mature people. Mature people, like sometimes in your age, you're 18, but then you know how to be calm in a situation where people are so on
Mm,
your face and all that. But you be like, it's okay. People make mistakes. You're very
mm,
mature in for that age, and then maturity is about you knowing how to respond to situation. Like for instance, I mentioned to you when people are saying bad things behind your back and you hear it. If you're not mature enough, you're gonna go against it.
I'm sorry, but I see them as a I see them as a when it comes to like people talking behind
Yeah.
my back or something. I see them as a big fan because you waste your time, you waste
Yeah.
your precious moments to just talk about me. I feel appreciated.
Yeah.
It's like if I ever heard or anybody
I
talking
mean,
about me,
thank you very
oh,
much.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like I would give you a signature. I'm like, give me a call. I'll give you a signature. Like because I'm very appreciative for you to waste your time to me
Yeah.
because you have your own life. I have
For
my
me,
own
I
life.
don't even worry, man. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
I
waste my
don't worry
energy
about
on that.
that. Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
gonna move on because like this. If you have bigger things in life that you want to achieve, those little things does not matter.
Yes.
It does not matter at all, to be honest.
Yes.
Like for instance, I used to care like, oh, people don't like me because I'm this. People don't like my music. Now I do not worry because I have faith in myself that one of my songs, I don't know which songs, probably after 500 songs, one's gonna go international. I truly believe that, and I have this faith in me that when I thought that Bepi is gonna become real, it's Bepi's real now. When I went to Australia, I was 18 in 2003. I went there 2006. Back then, we still listened to CD. So I bought the CD at the electronic shop. I printed this cover writing Bepi, and then my first album with 12 songs, and the title's Mesa. It becomes reality, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it became reality in 2019. I released my first album, 15 songs, not 12, 15 songs, and the name of the album is Mesa.
Wow.
And now I'm recording, and I have two EPs now. So I have 8 singles and two EPs, and plus I'm recording my second album. It's 10 songs in English. So I've released 3 already. Two music videos. One is Shadow for my dad, and the one is I Cannot Imagine. It's a translation of La Imagina into English, but I'm gonna remake it because some of the things that I didn't quite like with the arrangement, and maybe in the future I'll do that again. But I'm going to also release another song. It's called Together Forever. It's an orchestra song, and I'm working together with a music composer from Indonesia, from Yogyakarta. It's still in progress because I still need choir in the background and some other big like cellos. In order to do it, it's quite expensive.
Oh,
And I thought, like, if I spend a lot of money, what is it for me?
that's true.
Maybe not now, and the return. Who's gonna listen to this song? Well, like, to be honest, if it's released.
If not about who's gonna listen,
Yeah,
it's about
like that's what I thought. Who's
Mm.
gonna listen to the song if it's released?
Mm.
And then I thought, like, I'm gonna follow my instinct. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But for instance, Chappelle Roan?
Chappelle Roan.
Yeah, recently she won the best new artist.
Yeah.
She has been in industry for 10, 11 years now, and she got canceled by the label in 2018 or 17. So she continued producing songs. The Pink Pony something like a girl,
So yeah.
and now it's famous.
Wow.
But it was already written and released in 2017, and it's just as famous now. So it just really, and then
All about timing or
it's timing.
yes.
And for instance, you plant the trees of like apple tree, you cannot just pick like a small apple, apple that is not ripe yet.
You have to
You have to leave it. You have to leave. Be patient. Keep watering. Keep cleaning. So to make sure that the fruit is going to be like a really sweet fruit, but when the time is right.
Thank you very much for Bepi for coming to this podcast, and thank you again for the Great Bookshop for supporting us. And the place is in Bemori. Please come check it out. There's a lot of books, great books for readers to read, and please come check it out.